So basically, the traditional Malay house is one of the richest components of Malaysia's cultural heritage, designed and built by villagers themselves. It manifests the creative and aesthetic skills of Malays, and this is a near perfect house form which is appropriate to local climatic conditions and expresses the way of life of its inhabitants. So the house is extremely well designed to suit the warm and humid Malaysian climate and for the multifunctional use of space. Its design is also flexible as it caters to the widely different needs of the users, and it has an addition system which allows the house to be extended to meet the growing needs of the family. So basically, the house form, the traditional Malay house is a timber house raised on stilts. It's basically a post and intel structure with wooden or bamboo walls and thatched roof. Windows are plentiful, lining the walls and providing good ventilation and views of the house. So from a distance, the Malay house seems to merge naturally with the environment. The roof, which is large, dominates the low walls and the open, stilted bottom of the house. The juxtaposition of the roof, which with different sizes and at different orientations, creates an interesting visual form. The traditional Malay house was evolved by the Malays over generations, adapting to their needs, and you may not possess the grandeur or ostentatiousness found in modern buildings, designed by modern self-conscious designers, but it reflects other qualities lacking in modern buildings. With direct dependence on nature for its resources and embodying a deep knowledge of ecological balances, the house is efficiently designed to suit the local climatic requirements using various ventilation and solar control devices. Besides being well adapted to the environment, the house has also evolved a prefabricated building system which is flexible and varied to suit the needs of users. It has also developed a very sophisticated addition system which allows the house to be extended in line with the growing needs of the users. Various traditional and hybrid Malay house form can be identified in Peninsular Malaysia. They are classified by their roof shapes. The basic house form are bumbung panjang, bumbung lima, bumbung perak, and bumbung limas. But the most common house form would be the bumbung panjang, characterized by a long gable roof. The bumbung panjang houses are the oldest identified in Peninsular Malaysia, many of them being over 100 years old and still in good condition. So the bumbung panjang is the simplest of the four house forms. It has the simplest gable roof supported by king posts. The most common roofing material used for the bumbung panjang is the atap. The simple bumbung panjang roof form is most efficient for its ventilation properties. Its simple funnel shape and the use of ventilation grills at its gable ends, which is the table layer, and the use of ventilation joints allow good ventilation of the roof space, which cools the house effectively. The roof is simple and easy to be constructed, and partly explains the popularity of this house form among the poorer village. The bumbung panjang, due to its simplicity, is a very efficient roof form for making additions to the house. The bumbung lima and bumbung perak are all house forms which are not indigenous but developed through foreign influence. The bumbung lima and bumbung perak houses are believed to have been influenced by the colonial Dutch and British house forms. The bumbung lima house has a hip roof, and the bumbung perak house has a gambrel roof, and the bumbung lima's house has a pyramidal roof. Of these three foreign house forms used in Malay houses, the bumbung perak house forms are also called bumbung potongan Belanda roof in the East Coast is the most popular. So next I'm going to go for the design and layout. So basically, the traditional Malay house can be divided into the front and back portions, which are centered around the rumah ibu, which is the core house, and the dapur respectively. At the entrance of the most traditional Malay houses, stairs led up to a covered porch called the anjong. The porch acts as a good transition space between the public and the private domains. The anjong also acts as an important focal point for the entrance. Unsimilar visitors and guests are entertained here from the entrance porch. One enters into the Serambi Gantong, and this is the place where most guests are entertained. The low windows in the Serambi Gantong allow for good ventilation and good views to the exterior. So from the Serumbu Gantong, one enters into the Rumah Ibu, which is the core area, and this is the largest area of the house where most activities are conducted. So sleeping, sewing, praying, ironing, studying, and even feasting, which is held during marriage and other festivals, all occur here. So the importance of the Rumah Ibu is expressed by its floor level being the highest in the house. The salon is a closed walkway used to link the kitchen and the Rumah Ibu together. The side entrance to the kitchen is also located here. Besides being a circulation space, the salang is often used by women folk as a space to chat and socialize. So the salang is a very effective linking device which delivers an open space between the two portions, allowing good ventilation and lighting of the house. So the dapur is always situated at the back of the house and is on the lowest floor level. So the modern kitchens in new Malay houses are often dropped to the ground level where floors are cemented. Food preparation, cooking, eating and washing are all done here. The women folk also often group here to chat. So the court space, which is peculiar only to Malay houses in Malacca, is an intimate, private, interior open space in between the Rumah Ibu and the dapur. It is often beautifully decorated with flowers and plants, and it is a favorite resting place for the users, and sometimes informal guests, especially ladies, are entertained here.
Practice and innovative experience have had their effects on the traditional Malay houses. We cannot deny that in this modern world today, innovation is playing a huge part in the progression of our society. The new generation especially has been exposed to more modern features and designs, and especially those who have been pursuing education overseas. These people offer new ideas and designs by assimilating these new elements. Furthermore, authorities have also been promoting other systems and ideas of low-cost housing. However, traditional Malay houses already offer an ideal low-cost housing in addition to having unique features and designs. This can be observed most in rural areas where the beauty of these traditional houses remain. Traditional Malay houses also offer an idea of maximization of ventilation by having elements such as verandas and large overhangs which prevent exposure to sun and rain while also remaining pleasing to the eye. Furthermore, they also offer a good concept of dealing with solar radiation and glare controls effectively. While our ideas continue to evolve and learn to incorporate new elements, we should learn to appreciate and rediscover the beauty of traditional Malay houses so that they are not lost in time.
Hi, I'm Limiho. So now I would like to talk about the upscaling of the traditional Malay houses. These are possible because the traditional Malay houses are far more affordable to the poor or even to those who are financially stretched. Besides, it also displays the capabilities of the local people to build traditional Malay houses by using the local materials. It also shows the adequate and appropriate housing and shelter policies which are quite useful in the development. However, their existence are threatened because of the sociological, economy and the environment changes. In order to get rid of these obstacles, certain solutions are needed, but these solutions needed the commitment and will in promoting the traditional Malay houses by using the concrete and the effective governmental policies. Besides, the housing standards should be based on the people's socio-economic needs, local cultures as well as the ecological condition in order to reflect the Malaysian's identity.
Now let's talk about the diminishing materials and skills of traditional Malay houses. As you can know, there are three major elements of traditional Malay house that are changed throughout the years, which is the windows, the roof and also the stilts. Majority materials that are used for traditional Malay houses are timber, because previously it was very cheap and it was high quality. But now it's very expensive and it is considered high and fashionable materials. Furthermore, traditional Malay houses reflects high degree of skills and expertise of its local craftsmen and also expertise. They just use basic tools that produce intricate joinery and also delicate carvings.
I'm going to talk about the threats of building by laws. It requires building plans being drawn up and approved by local authorities before a house can be built. Such plan will have to be done by architect, which only small number of architects in Malaysia know well about the structures and designs of traditional Malay houses. Traditional houses users and carpenters build house according to their experiences instead of plans. This concept goes against the traditional principle where the users control the design and constructions of the house. This bylaw threaten the continued existence of traditional Malay houses and also traditional craftsmen, carpenters and other artisans who are involved in the building of traditional Malay houses.
Hi guys, I'm Yunjian. Today I'm going to introduce you all about this building. So this is the Malay school and it's built in 1980 by local people.
Let's talk about the characteristic of it. The structure of the building is made out of local wood and the roof is made of rumbia leaves. Inside the building, there aren't any chairs or tables. Instead, black planks are provided for students to sit on it. This shows some of the characteristics of traditional.
Hello everyone, I'm Nagees. I'm from School of Bioscience. I want to talk about the problem faced by the Malay house and how they overcome it. The traditional house is undergoing many changes and its peace is the constant threats in its continuous existence. Economics and social culture values promoted by the modern development are making a strong impact on the Malay traditional house. The local building material and coherent designs for the traditional house being replaced. For example, unsuitable use of the modern material. The use of the modern material like zinc, cement, brick has significantly changed Malay house form. For example, zinc materials which helps to maintain the temperature inside of the house.
Hi, my name is Manusha and I'm going to speak on the description and issues regarding the traditional Malay house. Firstly, the description of the institution and its organizational aspects. The largest population in Malaysia are the Malay communities. A lot of modification had been done to the traditional Malay house over a few generations to accommodate to their lifestyle and environment. With a solid knowledge of ecological balances, they have designed the houses in such a way to suit local climatic conditions. Now, I'm going to speak on the issues regarding the issues encountered and the strategies taken to overcome the problems. With current economical state, modern day home development are making a strong impact on the Malay house form. Original building materials and the design principles are being reformed and replaced by modern technology, thus causing vulgarization of the Malay traditional houses. Secondly is the erosion of confidence in indigenous technologies. The main cause of this problem is the implementation of the Western style model of development. Status of the Malay house is usually lowered by the over-glorification of the Western designs in the house construction. Furthermore, the biases against wooden houses. Our country's timber industry is very much export-oriented, which affects the availability of timber in local markets. Finally is the vulgarization of the Malay house. The use of traditional Malay house forms for commercial and recreational buildings has been criticized for not just being superficial but vulgar. Therefore, positive measures should be taken to promote the status of traditional Malay house for proper housing purposes. Thank you.